We're at a special time for the self-care suite on today. Oh, you know what? Let me check and see. Hey, Anthony, Daniel, how are you? Let me see if we could. Okay. Alrighty. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is a special day and time for the self-care suite. So this is not our usual day or time, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about your self-care on today because we can. I don't know if these cameras seem too close or not. So if you could let me know if you can hear me. So I think we should be good. Just let me know if you can hear. Welcome into the special day and time for the self-care suite, where we come usually on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to talk about the many ways to wellness. This is Nonchalant. How are you? We will exchange useful, sustainable, low cost, or no cost self care strategies because financial challenges should not stop us from investing in our wellness account every single day. There should be something that we can do for our wellness every single day. And that's what we come here to kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss those things. The many ways to wellness. So we just want to check in. I'm sticking to my commitment to do this weekly. Well, technically it should have happened on yesterday, but I was traveling on yesterday, so I was not able to do it. Hey, Cammy, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So I wasn't able to do it yesterday, so I just moved it a day later. So as close as I could to 3 o'clock a day later because I'm keeping up with my commitment to do this. Let me see if I can move you all a little. Or should I not be messing with stuff that was already working? I probably should have left y'all alone. Leave well enough alone, girl. Leave well enough alone. So let me know if you can still hear me. Is it Emmy or EMI? Ambitious K. Hello, welcome in. Let us know what side of the globe you are chiming in from. We are back in the U.S. We were traveling yesterday from out of the country, so we weren't able to chime in on Sunday, our typical day, Sunday at 3 p.m. for the self-care suite. So we're going to do it today. So actually, this is going to be a different audience for us. And yeah, let's see. Let's see what's going to happen here. I am Coach Robin Renee. In this capacity, I am your hostess for the Self-Care Suite. And this is where we come weekly, typically on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to discuss the many ways to wellness. Okay, Barat, let me see. This is what's about to happen here. All right. So if you all have not been familiar with us, I'm streaming on 2 different platforms, and so sometimes you may see me look away because I'm also on the tube and they get out of hand over there. But welcome into my talkers, and this is a new community of talkers that we may be tapping into. Thank you so much for liking the live, Caroline. Thank you so much. But yeah, they get kind of wild over on the tube. I don't have a moderator over there, but I learned about the timeout button. So my tubers, behave yourself or you're going to timeout. You're getting out of there. Thank you so much, Caroline, for liking the live. We are in the self-care suite where we come usually on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to discuss the many ways to wellness. We exchange useful, sustainable, low cost or no cost self-care strategies because financial challenges should not prevent us from investing in our wellness every single day. So I want you to let me know where you're chiming in from, what you did specifically last week. Okay, I'm trying to adjust you all again. Last week for your self-care. I mean, and if you didn't get a chance to get to it, no worries, we're human. We are human, and there are times when we won't be able to invest in our wellness. So this is why I decided to make this commitment to come weekly to discuss the many ways to wellness, because this will be your appointment to make sure that you set aside some kind of time to either gather new tools and strategies for your self-care toolbox, backpack. So toolbox, arsenal, backpack, bag, account, whatever you identify your self-care as, we want you to be able to increase that. We want you to be able to have more ideas, more strategies that you can use to take care of yourself. And we look for those ones that will not break the bank. So like I'm literally gonna kick off my shoes in the self-care suite. And so I'm coming to you from the hammock. Oh, I hope no ants crawl in my shoes, but that's okay. I'll get them out. I will get them out. I will get them out. Do not crawl in my shoes. Do not. All right. Hang tight, y'all. I need to elevate my shoes. So it sounded like self-care last week. You did breathing exercise. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff for the breathing exercises. Mindful breathing is essential in order for us to breathe more efficiently, to utilize our breath to help take care of us. It's something that we're going to do our entire life. But y'all hold tight. I need to bring my shoes up some, because it sounded like a good idea when I took them off, but I put them on the ground and ants might get in there. Hold tight, y'all. I'm going to elevate them on my platform down here, so that, I mean, it's not like an ant can't crawl up, because they can. It's not like an ant can't, because the ant can, but at least it's some kind of distracting or deterrent. But if they see them down on the ground, they may be like, ooh, what are these? Let me see what I can do with this. So yeah, so typically on Sundays is my chill day. So Sunday is my off day, if you think about it, in terms of work. And in January, I got this nudge, I guess you can say I got a nudge to share my day with my communities. So one is on the tube, the other is on the talk. So I do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Caroline Reeds, for continually tapping on the screen. Again, if we have others in here, let us know where you are chiming in from. And we're going to get into some self-care stuff. I actually just got back from one of the ultimate self-care experiences for some women. I hosted a retreat in Bali, Indonesia. So we've been there. Well, I've been there for like the past, what's today? Yeah, 10 days. Because we crossed the international timeline, so my times are a little bit off. But yeah, I think they were there for like 7 and I was there for like 10, something like that. Something like that. Pilar, hello, welcome in. Cheryl, is it Hale Hall or Hall Hall? Welcome in. Let us know where you are chiming in from. So again, we are back in the U.S. I hosted a wellness retreat last week in Bali, and we got back last night, the 20th. Today is the 21st. Yeah, so today is the 21st. We got back last night. And so we are back in the States. And yeah, so the ladies had a really good time. They had some different experiences, and I will post. So if you do come back to my page or to my channel, if you're over on the talk, if you come back to my channel, it'll be the latest episode of the Melanin Matters show. I'm going to Compton, what's up? Compton, COMPTON. Hey, Compton, what's going on? What's going on? West Side. So Compton, let me tell you something funny. When we were in Bali, so you know we're learning their language, we're teaching them our language, and one of the young ladies there was so attracted to. Now it took me, I don't know if I could do the sign on here, but you know how you all make the W for West Coast? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're gonna flag me, but the W for West Coast. And so we were talking about the different sides of town and then the different sides of the United States. One of the young ladies, whenever we said West Side, she was stuck. So we're like, yeah, she's gonna be a Cali girl. And we showed them, you know, how to do the W. She kept doing it. It was so funny. She would say North Side, you know, she would say, you know, East or whatever. But when we said West Side, she just went, you know, she went bananas with it. It was so funny. So yeah, so she's gonna be a Cali girl if she comes to the United States. We had so much fun though. so much fun. And so we did the authentic Balinese cooking class. So the episode that I'm going to post of the Melanin Matters show is my YouTube, my tube show. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun and funny. Thank you so much. And I'm going to post that because the women who were on the retreat, they learned different things, about themselves, about one another. But the common thread that was weaved throughout the community that they built over that week was about the food. And so they shared their experiences with the food and about the food in that episode. So I will post that. Hey, Linda Peterson, welcome in. We're just talking about our self-care, what you did last week for self-care, or today. Today is Monday. And if you see me referencing the dates, because we crossed the international date line, so my days and times may be a little bit off. But I'm back in. This Monday, July 21st. Yeah, today is July 21st. So even if you did something, so some people set up Monday. Monday is the day that I'm going to do the things to set my week straight. My day is Sunday. It's when I shut everything down. I'm chilling. And it's rare that I will do some work that will cause me to pull too far away from my off mode. Like, I want to be off, like turned off on Sunday. So that's when I'm, catching a sunrise, hanging out, on the beach for a while. I'm taking my long walks, long walk. What she said, in the park. That's when I'm taking my long walks on Sundays. That's when if I decide to, that's when I'm gonna, make some meals if I want. Juicing. Now, when it's warm outside, I would rather juice. I'm not a heavy eater anyway, but when it's warm outside, at least for us in the Midwest, because we get it feel like 3 days of summer and we got to do 99 things in them 3 days. So I take it light, like literally I take it light. I take it light with my activities. I take it light with my work. I take it light with my food. So my preference during those times, the summer months, is going to be something light. And watermelon is in season. I'm making me some watermelon juice. Like, I don't know. I have not done this. I don't want to use the ever word, the never word. I have not done this before, but I'm just wondering if I can drink a whole watermelon, like if I juice it. So I like to juice my watermelon, and I'll eat it, but I do like to juice my watermelon. I add lime juice to it, depending on the mood. Sometimes I'll add ginger. I'll add ginger to it. But, oh man, watermelon that's in season. Juicing a watermelon that's in season is heavenly. So that's what I like to do. Most of my fruits will be juiced. And this year, this is what I'm doing. Researching and developing, trying new fruits, trying new tropical, they're mostly tropical fruits. So I finally got an actual soursop fruit. I had one before, and the guy in the produce department, hey Monica, how are you? Thanks for joining. Hey T, and I think it's some lipstick on there. Wilson. Hello, transparent. Hello. Let us know where you tapping in from. We are in the U.S., in the Midwest, in the U.S. So I bought a soursop, the actual fruit, because I wanted to see, what the actual fruit would taste like. I've had the juice before. Thank you so much. It's find a random shirt. Okay, find a random shirt. Thank you so much for liking the live. So I've had the soursop juice before, and for me, I didn't prefer that. It was, at least the one I had, the brand I had, it was sweet, like extra sweet, and I didn't want to dilute it, because if I'm looking for the benefits, I could have, but if I'm looking for the benefits of it, I was just like, well, let me just try it and drink it the way that it is. But it was like really sweet, and then there were like chunks of the fruit still in it. I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like that. I mean, not that it tasted good, it was just really sweet, but it tasted good. But the surprise to get those chunks of the fruit, have I had? Yes, honey, that's added to the list. Yes, Cheryl Hall. Yep, dragon fruit is on there. So I've had, it may be on my page somewhere. But when I went to Bali, they have that, oh my God, it's like a fuchsia purple. It's like magenta. It's like a magenta. They have that one. And I've had the white one before. I've had the red skin. I've had the yellow skin. But yeah, so dragon fruit is one of the new ones that I'm researching and developing with, and I like. Star fruit is in there, and the soursop. So I have it now. I wish I had it out here with me, but I mean it's in the house. But the soursop. So the first one I had, the guy in the produce department told me to leave it out for 4 days. Well, I left it out for 4 days and didn't chop it up, didn't eat it. I actually left it out for more than 4 days, but in my mind, I was leaving it out for 4 days. I ended up leaving it out for more than 4 days. And then when I saw the mold on it, I was like, So that didn't work out well. So I didn't have that the first time. I mean, I hated wasting the money because y'all already know. Because the bag of grapes was $8. $8. So I didn't want to waste the money. So today I bought one. And I saw the guy in the produce department and I asked him, show me which one is ready to be eaten. Because I don't know. I've never selected one before. So he showed me and he said one day only. So I'll be able to try it tomorrow. So I'll do a little video of the tasting of that. So that will be my first time actually having the fruit itself by itself, not mixing anything or blending anything. So I'm looking forward to it. Hey Kiara, how are you? Thanks for joining. Let us know where you are chiming in from. This is the self-care suite. It's the self-care suite at a special time and special day because just a girl and I just see tech something. I don't see the rest of it, but welcome in. But I was traveling yesterday. Don't come over here. I was traveling yesterday, so I was not able to come in yesterday. And I was traveling from Indonesia. I was traveling from Asia, and I took some women on a wellness retreat. And they got some eye-opening experiences, especially with the food, because I spoke with each one of them individually. And then when I upload the episode, I spoke with each one of them individually, and that common thread that went through their conversation was about the food. And it was an experience with the food, but I wanted them to see from start to finish on a local level, because if you are in the U.S., shout out to, I'm going to say America, because we ain't united. I'm blinking. And the reason why I'm blinking, because if you're not in America, we need help. Help us. If you're not in America. Thank you so much for the follow, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Hey, Julia, Misty. But what I wanted them to see was how food was processed from its live state until it ends up on your plate. There's bars. But seriously though, from the live state until it ends up on your plate. And they were like some of them, I want you all to see the episode, because one of them was like, she don't want no more chicken. She don't want no more chicken when she saw, how things are processed. We don't get a lot of chances in America, and I don't know where everybody else is from, but if you're in America, if you know that we don't get a lot of chances to actually just go where everything is processed. But they went to a local open market, saw their meat laying on the table with things flying around it, and it was an experience. It was an experience with other animals walking around the fruit, walking around the food, and they saw it, because we had a culinary class, and in the culinary class, it takes you from the very beginning until the end. So from you creating your menu and you going to the market to actually pick out your foods for the menu. And when they saw that, they were like, I don't think it's funny. Y'all got to watch the episode, so I'll upload that today. But one was like, she don't even know if she could eat chicken again after seeing that. But, everybody has their own journey. And for some people, it does take experiences to put more things on your mind about how we are nourishing our bodies and the things that we put into our bodies and the care that goes into it. Now, there's always a process, for you to be able to clean those items. But she was like, nah, once you see something, it's hard to unsee it, which is true. It's hard to unsee something that you've already seen. And yeah, y'all see the episode. So and definitely comment on it. But if has anybody that's here, like anybody on my tubers, anybody on my talkers, have you been to a live market where you see the animal basically that you're going to eat, like from beginning to end? Have you ever seen that? Now farmers markets is one thing, right? They'll come and the stuff has already been processed, and I'm just using air quotes, but it's already been, cleaned and, you know, presented to you, you know, in a different way. But have you seen it just laying out there on the table with stuff flying all around it? So just let me know if you've been to a live market like that. But that, hey, that's a way of life, and that's how, you know, they live, and that's how your food is purchased. That's how they purchase their food at the local market. Like everything was like right there. But the other thing they did learn was about spices. So in America, so again, I don't know where everybody is from, but if you're in America, you know, most of the time, our spices, hey, Caroline Reeves, thank you so much. Thank you so much for liking the live. So most of the time when we buy our spices, just to say the majority of people who buy spices buy them already in a container, like something to shake, or even if it's a grinder, you're already purchasing it. The plane going over. Let's let the plane go over. Hey, 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 hey. So usually you're buying your spices that's already in. Hey, Julia, how are you? So usually you're buying your spices that are already in a container. So they've already gone through whatever process, the drying process and the grinding process. It's already gone through that. Well, in the preparation of the food, the Wander plug, hey, welcome in, welcome in. Let us know where you're chiming in from. We are in America, in the Midwest, in the mighty Midwest. We in these middle streets of the country, but they saw how spices are made fresh. So the spices were not dried. So if you had, let's just say lemongrass, if you had some lemongrass spice, typically, now some people go and buy their stuff fresh and they chop it up. So it's chopped up and then put into the food. But have you seen the actual spice the way that we typically see it in America, in the granulated state, cut up? I mean, that process alone for me was amazing. How small things were cut, you know, from the onion to the lemongrass to the ginger to the citrus, you know, to the peels. Like all that was, it looked like once it laid there and dried, you can put it in a bottle, you know, in a jar and shake it. So they went through that entire process, and then understanding what each, so I still got my Princess Shuri braid. So I was practicing wraps with my hair. I want to learn how to wrap my hair, because I want to start wearing, you know, the head wraps, because I think they look so nice. But this is my Princess Shuri braid that I had out. But anyway, so they were learning what each individual food item did for the body, how it's processed in the body, and then even with the way that the food was cut up. Is that Annie Mon? I hope I'm not butchering your name. Annie Mon. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's ANIME. Okay, you went past. Thank you all for joining. So when they saw how that was, and so then the chef was explaining why things are cut up that small. Hey, Tawana Brown, thank you for joining. So why the food was cut up that small is because it's easier to digest. And it was sort of like a light bulb just went off in everybody's head. Like, wait a minute. So here we are with this big food, because you know, if you're in America, is that Bria Lynn? Welcome in. Let us know. Bria Lynn, welcome in. Let us know where you're chiming in from, what side of the globe. We are in the Midwest. But if you think about how our food is prepared, or the way our things look, we have a lot of, hey Marcy, we have a lot of chunks of things that, you know, we are ingesting, and we're not really chewing our food the way that it should be chewed. So if you heard it 32 times on one side, switch to the other, take a pause, like, you know, those sorts of things. We don't typically do that because we're in a hurry. We're sitting in front of a screen. We're watching something. We're laughing. You know, we're talking. We're doing all the different things that we're not being mindful of what we're eating and how we're eating. And so to learn that, and to learn the process of how things can help your digestive system. And so again, I'll say that here in America, you know, the digestive remedies are, wait, I'm sitting up a little bit in my hammock. I may go back down. But our digestive remedies are in abundance in America. Some kind of pill, some kind of powder, you know, some kind of liquid, you know, that is going to settle our stomachs, because we eat too fast, we eat too much, and we eat too big. It's bigly over here in America. But to learn the differences and the different cultures, and then to understand how a lot of the things that we may have, they don't have. Like, they don't have those experiences because of just the food, the preparation of the food, the way the food is eaten, how the food is respected. When we are out, you know, socializing or whatever, so you have to think about typically, This is one of the reasons why I prefer to dine alone. But typically, if you're out, if you're going out with someone, our food, our eating. Again, I'm in America, specifically in the Midwest. But our socialization around our food involves a lot of talking. It involves a lot of talking, while we're eating, and it's timed. The amount of time that we have to eat is that Devana Martise. Welcome in, welcome in. Let us know where you're joining in from. Welcome into the Self-Care Suite, a special day and special time. But so it's lunch time, it's breakfast time, it's dinner time, and we only have a certain amount of time that we're supposed to eat this meal. And all right, Tin, hey, welcome in, welcome in. And it's not specifically stated how you should be using that time. So for the most part, it's Daisy Young. Hey, welcome in. Let us know where you're chiming in from. So we're constricted to this time slot, especially if we're on a job. We're working on a job, or we're just taking a break. If you're, self-employed, or if you're an entrepreneur, and you say, okay, well, this is going to be my lunch hour. This is going to be my lunch half an hour. Who came up with that concept? How did that concept come about that it takes you a half an hour to eat a full meal? Right? Because then once you're done eating that meal, then you got to just jump back out there and get back on the grind. And so to learn that there are actually people who take their time, who sit and who think about, what they're eating, and who take their time eating the food, it's amazing. It's amazing to see how much we don't respect our food. Not that we're so disrespectful of it. It's just like it hasn't been given a lot of thought. It's more or less we eat food for enjoyment over fuel. So we're looking for pleasure in the food. And let me say this, your food should be good. So don't think because you decide to eat healthier, you have made healthier choices in your food, that it should be bland or it should be boring. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even if you have made those choices, if you made the decision that you're going to eat healthier, your food should be good. We eat too much in our lifetimes. If you're thinking your 3 square meals, just saying the typical, the way we've learned in America, again, I don't know where everyone else is, but in America, we've learned you get your 3 square meals and then you get your snacks in between. That's a lot of eating. That's a whole lot of eating. So yeah, your food should be good. It should not be bland and you just, like out here, just picking up twigs and sticks and that's all you get to eat. That's not what it should be about. There are ways to become creative with your food, that you can enjoy your food and you don't have to feel, well, if I eat healthier, it has to be nasty, it has to be bland. That is so untrue. That is so untrue. And especially if you're using fresh ingredients, you're using the right ingredients. This is Lone Dove 8. Hey, welcome into the Self-Care Suite. Special day, special time of the Self-Care Suite. So we do want to look at the way that we're eating. Look at the way we're eating, how we're eating, and how we are preparing our food. So there was also a woman on the retreat was talking about how she couldn't believe how much food that that they were eating, that and she was full and there was no meat. Like there was no meat in the meals. And that was on my part. That was intentional on my part. This is Queen Kia. I hope I said that right. Welcome in. It was intentional on my part. So on my wellness retreat, hey, thank you, Kia. On my wellness retreat, I'm looking at mind, body, and soul. So it is a restoration. It is a time of restoration, replenishing. And it's a time for you to reflect and redirect some of the things you were doing. So even if we're doing everything right and we believe we're doing everything right, there's still some different things that you can add into your self-care arsenal, your self-care toolbox, your self-care treasure chest. That's what we come here for in the Self-Care Suite, so that we can exchange those ideas. So if you're just joining, let us know what you did last week for your self-care, or even today. If today is your day that you're like, you know what, it's Monday, I'm gonna set up some time to take care of myself. What did you do? Just share. We want to share. I don't want to come in this space as a teacher. I do that enough in my day-to-day life. I don't want to come in a teaching capacity. We're sharing this community. I will share some things that have worked for me in the past, some things that I thought sound like a good idea that end up not being such a good idea. I'll share those things. But I do like the community to share. Is that Ayana Sunshine? Welcome in. Let us know what side of town that you are joining. So yeah, so the one, she is a self-proclaimed meat eater, heavy meat eater, and she was surprised. She was surprised that how nourished she felt, how light she felt. She wasn't exhausted. She wasn't, sleepy, after every meal, but she did get some good sleep. She got some good sleep, she, had issues, restlessness being in America, that when she got all the way, she had to go halfway across the globe to see what it felt like to have a restful night, to see what it felt like to not be rushed, into whatever it is that you're doing, right? So I intentionally set my retreats up like that because we were, hey, Tanya, how are you? How are you? Thank you for joining. So I intentionally set my retreats up that way. They are restoration retreats. I don't like, because, and part of it is my experience on being at wellness retreats that wear you out. I got child. I've been on the side of the service provider and the side of the attendee, and a wellness retreat that leaves you exhausted after you're done. Oh, I don't know what happened. Talkers, y'all come back. Okay, I hit something I shouldn't have been hitting. Okay, it's ants crawling on my screen. Get down. All right. If y'all see them go across, that's an ant. It might look big to you. Hey, housecoat grandma, welcome in. Let us know what side of the globe you are chiming in on. So my retreats, and I have a vision for my retreat. So my overall vision for the retreats that I wanted to do came in 24. So the beginning, hey, Florida, what's up, Florida? How you doing? How you doing? So my initial vision or my initial prompting came in early 2024. So not every year, but some years I get a significant word that becomes impactful for me. I incorporate that in, and it all becomes a part of my wellness backpack, arsenal, treasure chest. That word that I received in 2024 was rest, restoration, restfulness, and like getting rid of restlessness. But the overall theme that I got at the beginning of that year was resting. So as a wellness professional, I was incorporating that into the services that I provide to the different communities that I provide to. So whatever it is I'm going to do, we're going to incorporate rest. So like with my Pilates classes, we do our mindful breathing. Initially, I would go into the work, I do authentic Pilates. So I teach authentic Pilates. I like to call it authentic versus aesthetic Pilates, because the East Coast, West Coast battle with the classical and contemporary, I ain't in it. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. But I follow Joseph Pilates' regimen, his order. So that's authentic to me. That's authentic Pilates, and that's what I'm teaching people. I'm teaching them foundational Pilates principles. I'm teaching them the foundational Pilates exercises. So when I got that word restfulness, this is maybe definitely, I love it. I love the name, maybe definitely, that's good. You like, I ain't saying yes, I ain't saying that. Look, I'm just saying. Is it Sade? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's how my niece spells her name, and it's pronounced Sade. So I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. But welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for the follows as well. So when I got that word rest, so restoration, restfulness, and getting rid of restlessness, because of the society that we live in, the world that we live in, people are always in a hurry. We're always, trying to get things done in a small time frame. Is this ant on me? It's ants crawling around. Oh, they might be up here in this hammock. I don't know, child. So that was the word. So that was the word that I got. And so I was going to go on a retreat. So a friend of mine has been hosting retreats for probably like 15 years now. And she's been doing it a long time. So I was going to go on a retreat with her. So when I went to her site to select the retreat that I was going on, she had Bali up. So I was like, okay. Because she also goes to Peru, which is, I'm going to do that. But for whatever reason, the Bali one was fitting in my time frame. So when I went on there to look and see the retreat, there were activities on there that I knew I wasn't going to participate in. So I'm looking like, yeah, I probably want to do this. I probably want to do that, because it was more so designed for or curated for people who were going on a spiritual journey and going on a deeper spiritual journey, because of there may have been some things that had gotten them off track, where they, they're not necessarily lost, but just at a space of, I need to either reroute or incorporate some new things. So like what we're doing here in the self-care suite. And so that's what the retreat was incorporated, but it also incorporated traditional or ceremonial things in Bali. Now me, the way I operate, my Lord ain't told me to do that. So I'm not going to get into that. Is that Sally Butterfly? Hey, welcome in. Narajan, welcome in, welcome in. Let us know what side of the globe you are chiming in from. So for me, I was deselecting, deselecting, deselecting. And so it began to not make a lot of sense to me financially and time wise to go halfway around the world on a wellness retreat that I wasn't going to participate in. So that just wasn't working out for me. And again, I don't delve or dive into other religions or spiritual practices that I don't know about because I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen because I don't know. I'm going to stay, every little step I take going to be right over here on the Christianity side. That's just me. That's just where I'm rolling. I respect other religions. I respect other spiritual practices. I'm not opposed to learning about them, but participating in them, that's why I draw the line. That's why I draw the line. So anyway, so I didn't select it. I didn't select that. But right next to that, she had retreat host training. So I was like, hey, Jesse Ray, how are you? So I was like, okay, let me look into the retreat host training. Because, I mean, it never dawned on me prior to become a retreat host. But then when I saw that and I looked into what I was going to learn to become a retreat host, that fit into what I got earlier that year about restoration and about resting and about restfulness. That fit into what I wanted to do with my business and with the people who I take on my retreat. So up until the point that I did the retreat host training, I was doing more or less like weekend getaways or staycations. And they were around adventure therapy, which is hype me up, hype me up, hype me up. So it was more of those. So we had fun. Adventure therapy was so much fun. And I did that for years. I got that on my channel too, as to why I stopped that in 2020. Because yeah, I was left with a bag, holding a bag of $1,200. But maybe I'll go back to that. If I forget, y'all let me know that I forgot that part. But anyway, hey Michelle, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much for tapping on the screen. Thank you so much for being here with us today in the Self-Care Suite. I am Coach Robin Renee, typically your mindful movement guide through your Pilates journey. But in the Self-Care Suite, I am your hostess, where we come to kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. We also exchange sustainable, low-cost or no-cost self-care strategies because our financial challenges should not prevent us from investing in our wellness account every single day. So back to the lecture at hand. So back to the story. And so when I saw the retreat host training and all the things that I could learn becoming a retreat host, I was like, okay, this sounds like it'll work. It'll work for what I want to do. I was just doing, weekend stuff, staycations, getaways, one day. So I've done like one day retreats where we stay in the same space, but we have different things going on from, beginning to the end of the day. So that retreat host training looked like, thank you so much for liking the live, Caroline. And so that looked like something that was appealing to me. So when I clicked on it, it opened up to a page that either wasn't completely finished or it wasn't loading. So I reached out to her to let her know what was happening with the site. And, she had to go on there and fix it. And she called me. And so she was like, I just had a conversation about you yesterday, and here you are asking me about my retreat host training. And then she asked me why I selected that, why I was interested in it, and I told her, and she said, yes, that is exactly what I would have recommended for you. Like, had she known in the beginning, because I went to go on the retreat, but when I looked at the things that was going to happen on the retreat, I knew that wasn't for me. And it just wouldn't have made sense for me to go that far, spend that kind of money, and spend that kind of time. Is it Iridi? I can't see the whole thing because you have icons. Emojis in there. I hope I'm saying that right. So it wouldn't have made sense for me to go that far, halfway around the world and not participate, in this stuff. And, part of you going on a wellness retreat is, to collect some new tools, right? To gather some new strategies that'll help you improve your wellness. And that just wasn't where I was. That wasn't the journey that was appropriate for me at that time. And she agreed. And I hadn't even had that conversation with her before. So anyway, she gave me a few more details about the retreat host training. And I'm like, okay. So I booked, the ticket. I, signed up for the retreat host training. And her training was in Bali. So it was right after the retreat that I didn't select. So she was already over there. She stayed over there for the retreat host training. So that's how I ended up in Bali for the retreat host training. Because some people may wonder, why would you go all the way to Bali to learn how to be a retreat host? First off, mind your business. But anyway, but yeah, I went over there because that's what she was teaching. And so that's where I put my boots on the ground in Bali to learn how to become a retreat host. Because I've been to some that are called retreats. And maybe the people thought they were doing that. I don't know. They were called wellness retreats, and maybe they thought that that's what it was. But when I think of a wellness retreat, I think of encompassing the human being. And am I serving those things that won't serve the body the best? I'll say that because I don't want to down anybody's retreats, because I've been to some very well thought out, some very nicely curated, retreats. But for me, I look at the entire person, which includes the food. Wherever you go, like I said earlier, we eat way too much. Not saying gluttonous, but we eat like way too many times in our life to not have something nourishing going into our bodies. And so that's what I'm looking at. And I know a lot of times it's out of convenience. So like we're going to serve, these sauces, these dips, these dishes, this fried stuff, but you're at a wellness retreat. Or even, it can be a wellness fair. I've been to wellness fairs before, and they're talking about, can I say the word? CANCER, can I say that? October, no. Yeah, well, October is one for like breast CANCER awareness, but just in general, the CANCER, I don't know if I can say it or not, so that's why I'm spelling it. But I've been to, just wellness events, talking about that awareness, and there's candy all over the table, And I'm just thinking, as wellness professionals or as medical professionals, the big C, as they call it, it thrives off of sugar. So there's sugar, you have sugar on the table that you're offering to people, and you're talking about them being well. So it's not to be judgmental, it's just observations that I've made. And, I'm just talking about the intentionality put behind the retreats that I do or events that I do. I mean, I'm going to encompass as much as I can of the entire person, so that they can understand that there's another way. There's another way that, I can nurture my body, another way I can care for my body. And I'm raising my hand. This is my word. I'm a sweet person. So I ain't down in no sweets now. Sweets, sugar is my friend. Sugar is my friend. But I have to be wise about the type of sweeteners that I will ingest, right? Like, am I adding sweetness to my food? No. So I get foods that are naturally sweet. And yes, for people who may want to say, well, if you eat a lot of fruit, it'll raise your sugar level. It will. You just have to be mindful about it. But I would rather pick up an apple or pick up a banana than a candy bar. That's just what, and I like to, and look, I was the candy bar queen. The SNICKERS was my jam. Back in the 80s and 90s, they don't even taste the same anymore. So I'm not downing anybody for what it is. Some people have an affinity to sweets. Some have an affinity to savory. So like at holidays, them big meals, you can pass me by. It won't bother me at all. It won't bother me at all to not have one of those plates. Okay, now y'all jumping out the trees. All right, that was a bug jumping out the tree. And I'm outside. Like, this is what I mean. When I say I'm outside, this is what I mean. I ain't in them streets like that. I'm just outside. But so if you have, an affinity to certain foods, like, don't think that you can't find something that will be healthy to replace or substitute what you enjoy. I'm telling you, me and sweets, we go a long way back, and we're going to go a long way forward. Am I trying to totally eliminate and cut them out of my life? No. But I have learned through the years how to, so you say that all the time and be in the backyard, right? I'm outside. Hey, Javon, welcome in. Yeah, this is what I mean when I say I'm outside. I mean, because I can't just come out here and just sit, like, for real. I can come out here and just sit. So you can find those things. You can find those things to substitute. So for me, when I started looking into different things to substitute when it came to my food, now I don't just eliminate total things, like eliminate, especially if they're favorites. Sometimes it'll send you more into a psychological shock or a state of psychological discomfort, because like, oh Lord, I cannot have this anymore. Again, I got to say this. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not encouraging or trying to influence anybody to do anything. I got to say that. That's a disclaimer so they don't shut me down. But if you decide that you want to go on this journey, and I'm using food because that is like the common thread throughout the world, we're going to eat. As long as we have the opportunity, we're going to eat. So if you're choosing food as the journey that you want to improve when it comes to your wellness, Again, the ladies who went on a retreat, and you're just joining, I'm talking about a retreat I just hosted. We just got back last night from Bali, Indonesia, and the ladies had some enlightening experiences with food. But if you have decided, okay, well, exercise, I know I'm not gonna set my clock, I know I'm not gonna get off work and want to do something in the evening. If that's not it, you can pick something as simple as and accessible as walking to start, because you may not know. Should I be doing CrossFit? Should I be doing powerlifting? Should I be biking? Should I be swimming? Should I be skating? There's so many different things that you can do along wellness. Okay, if that's overwhelming, let's go with what you're gonna do every day. Every day. We're going to eat something every day. And how can we make Mrs. Acosta? Hey, welcome in. Let us know where you're chiming in, what side of the globe. So let's see how we can improve our journey with food. Is there one thing that I'm just straight up overdoing it with, and I know I ain't right. Ask yourself that question. Is it one thing I just know? I know I should not be having this. I know this. I shouldn't be having this. Is there one thing that I can let's change, or is there something that I can improve in it? Is there something I can substitute for it? A lot of people like carbonated beverages. Some people call them pop, some people call them soda, some people call them cold drink. So depending on where you are in America. So I don't know what they're called, in other parts of the world. So let's just go with those carbonated beverages. If that's something you just gotta have, like, ooh, I gotta get that, like after I'm done, eating, I gotta get that fizz, I gotta get that burn. Something as simple as substituting that, or just even doing some research and development. What can I do to either match this taste or replace the taste? Because sometimes it's tapping into neurotransmitters in your brain, and it's not necessarily the taste that's doing it. It could be the level of an ingredient that's in there. And I'm hoping that that's making sense, that I'm saying. So if it's a carbonated beverage, and you say, okay, well, how can I make this healthier? What can I do with this? So think about if you could get some fruit juice. So that was you with soda with the switch. Bam! That's where I'm going, Michelle. That's exactly where I'm going. So if you could say, for instance, give me a flavor. Okay, so the lemon lime one. Let's just say the lemon lime one. They don't have no lemon or no lime, but yeah, that's another story. But the lemon lime one, the popular one, the lemon lime one, it's exactly what you can do. You can switch to sparkling water and add your fruit from there with a sweetener. So when you want the flavor, yes, come on, Michelle, that's where I'm going. And for a sweetener, you can add a natural sweetener to it. But look at the natural sweetener. Look at the recommended amount. Start with half. Start with half of whatever the recommended amount, because if sugar is what you're trying to bring down, that sweetness, what you want to do is to tap into those same neurotransmitters that made you say, ooh, I got to get my lemon lime sparkling drink. You're going to tap into those same neurotransmitters, but what you're teaching them is we pulling back on this. We still getting it, but we pulling back a little bit. And they can become accustomed to communicating with your body that this is enough. We're good. This is enough. We don't have to overload. We don't have to overload on this. Select one thing. I mean, food is overwhelming. And listen, and you be messing with the black people's food. I'm saying we be mad. We be mad. But let's just take it light. Take it light. Take those steps. I say every little step you take towards your wellness goal is a step towards winning. It's a win. It's a win. Every little step. You can start with something as simple as that. People have lost tons of weight just eliminating out those carbonated, sweetened, artificially sweetened beverages. That's a natural route. So you can go sparkling water, add your fruit juice, and whatever natural sweetener. Another way you can do that is juice, pure juice. Now, unless you have gone and purchased a cold pressed like pure juice, those ones with the famous labels, turn them over. If they don't have just that fruit and a sweetener, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pure juice. If they got ascorbic this, citric that, all those, if it's all them ingredients, that's not the juice I'm talking about. When you flip it over, it should be 3 or less ingredients in there, and that's how you know. A lot of juice bars, if you can go to juice bars, you can get that because the fruit is naturally sweetened. If you go with a fresh juice, whether you have done it yourself or you've purchased it, you already have the sugar in there. You have the sugar in there from the juice, and then you will add seltzer water. So seltzer water is different from club soda. Seltzer water is a natural source. It comes from a natural source. It's coming down the mountains and, all those things. They have to, process, to bottle it. Or unless you go into the mountain, you're just going to get you some fresh. But that way you don't have to add a sweetener. The sweetener would be the fruit that was already used. So you can make your own. You can make your own sparkling drink, and it's not as difficult as a lot of times that we think it is. It's really not. Simple. So it's like Michelle said, she started with sparkling water and she added her sweetener to that. So you can do the sparkling water, add that. We're just using the lemon lime, the famous one, as an example. You're gonna have actual lemon, actual lime, and you're gonna be like, what? I've been drinking this all this time, talking about some lemon lime. They don't have no lemon or no lime. Just look at it, just look at it. So that's one way. It could be something as simple as that. And once you see how simple it is and how quickly you can make something like that. Oh, I got people over here. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, darts for beginners. Hey, Tacos hold tight. Hey, Maria, how are you? All right. Okay, I'm sorry, tubers. But hey there, hey. Welcome into the Self-Care Suite. I am Coach Robin Renee, your hostess in this space. This is a new day and a new time for me. On Mondays, I'm typically on here. On Sundays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I was traveling yesterday, and so today, this is the earliest time that I can get it for today. But we're back on Sundays for next week. Okay, so for me, I'm a chocolate fan. I'm a chocolate fan. I'm a fan. So I just took different things to say, well, what can I use to replace this? And, the interwebs, whatever you call it, that information is free. A lot of the information is free. You don't even have to go far. You don't have to go further than the device that you're watching me on or holding or, whatever. You can go there and look for what natural ingredients can I replace this chocolate with? Like, what can I do? So I learned some very simple stuff, just very, very simple stuff, until I discovered, I'll tell you in a minute, it's something that was already made. But anyway, so using the cacao powder, I can use the cacao powder. I can sweeten whatever I have with some dates. I can add, my natural nut butters into it. So hey, House of Flow Wellness, to recreate, because I told you my bar was the SNICKERS, baby. Back in the 90s, back in the 80s and the 90s, that was my thing. I don't have a desire for them at all. I tasted them, it may have been 20 years ago. It's been a long time though, but after some years of being away, when I first started navigating, just changing what I consume as far as my sweets, they don't even taste the same no more. So, I don't have a desire. But anyway, so for me, it was chocolate. So that's when I learned about the different things that I can use. Real simple ingredients. So there's one treat that I make, and this is a bonus. This is a bonus that I found out about. Dark chocolate hummus. If you haven't had it and you like chocolate, I'm just saying. When I first saw that, because I really like hummus and I really like chocolate, I'm like, these two in my brain do not go together. But I promise you, it's smooth. It's a smooth, dark chocolate. I know, because it still don't sound right to me now, but it's good. He said it's something with my connection. Okay, Tacos, let me know if you're still with me. It's something flashed across my connection. So I get dark chocolate hummus. So my cacao powder and all that stuff is in there. My natural cacao and my hummus. So I got my chickpeas. So I got protein, right there. I don't have to do a lot of blending because the peoples have already done it for me. You can add mixed nuts into that if you want more of that caramel, type flavor. You can do date paste if you want to do that. You can do nut butters with the nuts. You can get real creative. So I just put them in a small container, put the dark chocolate hummus in it, mix the nuts in it, chill, put it in the refrigerator. If you want it, a little, stiffer than that, then you'll put it in the freezer. But put it in the refrigerator in these really small square containers, and you pop them out. Sometimes you got to pop out and show. You pop them out, you got you a nice, yes, God, you got you a nice chocolate treat. No, non-dairy, 2 or 3 ingredients. It's delicious. It's delicious. So for me, I started to experiment with things like that. Well, research and develop with things like that. It says something about my connection. So Tacos, let me know if you're with me. So look, this is something that sounded like a good idea at the time. Them doggone kale chips. Listen, if you eat kale chips, hallelujah, praise Jesus for your ministry. But baby, the people had said, the kale chips so good. I be baking my own day. I'm just saying this for me. It glitched a little earlier, but it's worked. Okay, thank you so much. But I'm telling you, I tried them. It was a lot of people who told me that. A lot of people said, oh, you're going to really like these kale chips. Baby, we did not become friends. Our relationship did not work out well. You addicted. See, House of Flow Wellness? I'm just saying. That's my whole point. I'm so glad you just came here. That's my whole point. Some things work for some people and some things just don't work for other people. I know. That's what the people kept telling me. They so good. I tried the plain. I tried the sea salt. I tried the one with the little sprinkles with the cheese with like the little cheese sprinkles, the barbecue. We just didn't have a good relationship. That's all. We didn't have a good relationship. I ain't hate because I know it's good for you. I mean, I know this stuff is good for you. Then bake your own. I bake my own. It tastes so much better when you bake your own. It didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And I'm okay with that. So that's just an example. That's an example of how some things work. Because, like, I don't, drink carbonated beverages. But, I do know that, like, especially when my kids were smaller and they would go around other people and they want to come home and tell me about what the other people had and all that. The sea salt is your favorite. And you say, no, it wasn't for me. It wasn't. I mean, yeah, it wasn't for me. And that's okay, though. It just wasn't for me. And so, with my kids, and so that's with the juice and the seltzer water, I would have them to do that. And so they were making their own, and they felt, like scientists, and because I didn't give them that stuff. They're older now, they're grown, they're doing their own thing, and so they made other choices than what they grew up with. Okay, something is coming. Oh, they're trying to end me. Why are you trying to end me? I'm talking to my people. Okay, so the puzzle piece is there. So that's what I mean. So when it comes to your food, think about what you're eating. Start with one thing at a time. Now, unless your medical, hey, Easton Johnson, how are you? Now, if your medical professional has told you otherwise and said you totally got to stop this right this instant, then listen to your medical professional. You don't want to go against that advice. So listen to your medical professional. But otherwise, then just use your food as a guide for your journey, for your wellness journey, by experimenting or researching and development with one item at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Some things will stay, some things won't. Or some things you'll start doing and then you find another way. Like me, when I started with the cacao powder and blending it and doing it all myself. But then I found the dark chocolate hummus. Now I don't have to do all that. I don't have to do all that. So, it can happen. But just be mindful that is a part of your wellness. A lot of times we don't think that our eating is a part of our wellness journey. It's like we think of food is just something I do because it tastes so good. But you want your food to have a purpose. You're going to eat it anyway. So why not find those things that are going to nourish your body, even with your spices? If you go into whether it's your pantry, your closet, or your shelf, or your rack, whatever you have for your spices, just pull one out. And then put that word in a search bar somewhere with health benefits. Put that in there and then just put health benefits behind it. You'll be so amazed as what's already in your arsenal, your spice arsenal, that is medicinal, that is healthy, that is something that can help you improve certain conditions, in your body. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just chatting it up with my friends. Don't be coming over here flagging me. I'm just discussing some things with my peoples. Cayenne. Look that up. If you use cayenne pepper, you have to think about the different types of peppers. You got white pepper, you got black pepper, you have red pepper. So look at those different ones. And if you look at cayenne, well, the active ingredient in cayenne pepper is capsaicin. Think about that. Think about that. Capsaicin. Think about the number of things that are sold over the counter that has capsaicin in it and that benefit. So the way you started putting stuff in your tea, right? The teas turn into potions at this point. Yes, the teas turn into potions, and that's one way to quickly get it in your body. Also think of how you want to ingest those items, because some can be an actual food where you have to eat, process and, send it through your digestive system. But some could be like House of Flow Wellness said, put it in your tea. What's tea? What's tea? Oh, let's clock that. But what's tea? What's tea? You can put it in your tea. It can be those simple journeys where you can get those things. Compare them to if you have westernized pharmaceuticals that you are, that you are taking. Again, always talk to your medical professional. You definitely want to talk to your medical professional about things that you're doing, with your wellness. If you decide to go on a journey of improving it, but also advocate for yourself. If you have something that you have researched and developed that is working for you for, a certain condition. Now, am I saying go in there arguing with the people? No, but I am saying go in there and have a conversation with them. We have to realize that our medical professionals are trained in medicine. They're trained in medicine. And so it's not fair to them for us to get angry with them for not telling us about all these natural remedies. They didn't learn that. That's why you have the natural healers or naturopathic healers that are able to help you along that realm. So just keep that in mind. Hey, Easton Johnson. Hello, hello, hello. So keep that in mind when you think about your medical profession. You want to talk to them about medicine. You want to talk to them about what they have learned. But then you, as your own advocate, compare that to either you have seen a wellness professional. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. If you have seen a natural healer or a natural wellness professional, to see if there are things that can match up with what the westernized pharmaceuticals have claimed. Because if you listen to them commercials, baby, the thing you taking it for may not happen no more, but it'd be about 10, 11 other things that happen to you if you take it. Well, your eye could be hanging out the socket. You may go deaf in one ear, and your leg may wobble to the side as you walk, but your toe will stop hurting. Like you have to look at all those different side effects, and just be your own advocate. If you have some apprehension, definitely seek a professional on both ends, the medical, the natural. If you are confident, in doing your own research and development, test it out. Test it out first. You can always test out what you're doing naturally with a medical professional by going in and get some lab work. I'm just saying. You could be not. Again, this is for entertainment purposes. But there is a way to do things. There are actually more than one way to do things, which is why we want to come here to the self-care suite so that we can understand that there are many ways to wellness. It's not just a one route. It's not a one route. There are people who come from all over. If somebody's having a party, somebody's hosting an event, people come from all sorts of directions with the motivation that I'm going to go to this event for whatever reasons I'm going. Some people come for different reasons, right? People come for different reasons to the same space, and they get there and they're able to enjoy their space. So that means you can take your wellness journey through a different route than another person, but end up at the same place. You want to have it customized for you. And it took me, just some thinking, right? Just to think about like what my expectations were of the medical professional, or my medical professionals. I don't have low expectations of them. I expect them to know medicine. And I don't want to go in with this attitude or with this feeling of they know it all, because they don't. And you probably want to make sure that you see them for what they were trained, because if you're asking them to help you out in an area that they don't know anything about, that may not end up coming out the best. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of you wanting a medical professional to teach you something that they didn't learn or that they are studying, because they don't have a lot of chapters. I'm just readjusting the camera, y'all. They don't have a lot of chapters that cover. See, the thing went across again. Okay, talk. Okay, I'm gonna be letting y'all go. I don't know. Like both. I'm gonna be ending this soon. But I just wanted to come on and make sure that I connect with you all in a week's time. So just think about that when it comes to your wellness journey. When you're talking about your movement journey, you can start with something low impact. Do you need to hire a trainer? If that's the route that you want to go, yeah. If there are specific things that you want to do, you want to accomplish with your body, and if that's, if it's within your budget, we're working on the budget over here. So our compilation of ideas and strategies in the self-care suite is so that if financial challenges come along, we still have strategies that we're able to implement. We're able to pull from our self-care box, our self-care toolbox, our backpack, our arsenal, our treasure chest. We still want to be able to pull those strategies and do it on the low or do it for the free 99. That's what we're doing. But if hiring a professional in the fitness industry, is in your budget and it's in your desire, sure. But if that's not in your budget, it's not in your desire, or you're just not sure of what it is you want to do, walking is one of the most accessible things that you do. You put on, your shoes, whether you have the high-tech, Hachitachi 3000 shoes or not. You just put on some shoes, some comfortable shoes that'll keep your feet safe, to make sure you have some stability, on your ankle, to make sure there's some cushion in between your foot and the concrete or whatever it is you're walking on. Then just walk out. You can do it in 30 minutes, 15 minutes in one direction, 15 minutes to come on back. So that can be something starting from there. You can start with some stretching. Again, you can put that in your search bar. There are a lot of low cost, no cost ways that you can move your body, and very effective. There are some people who have put their entire fitness journey on the webs. Okay, wait, I need to adjust you all. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because the sun is moving. So that's why I know it's time for me to shut it down. The sun is moving now, sun is moving behind me. But some people have put their entire journey. You may want to watch something like that. I mean, you could watch something like that. Hey, Faith, how are you? If I'm coming into the room. So you don't have to feel stuck when it comes to your wellness. We can simplify things and make them in bite-sized pieces so that we can ingest and digest them in order to utilize them, just like food. Food is intended for fuel. When people were eating back in the day, sure, taste had something to do with it, but it was more so, what can I eat that's going to sustain me so that I can get out and do this work? Like, what's going to hold me for, hey, Bess Jones family, how are you? How are you? Welcome in. So, people were doing that, with their food for sustainability. It wasn't necessarily for taste. But we have gotten into a space, again, I don't know where you're chiming in from, across the globe, but over here in America, we just be eating. We just eating. We eating for taste. We're eating for, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. We're just eating, and we're not being mindful. We're not being conscious of the things that we're eating because we're so concentrating on the taste of it. It doesn't mean that you can't navigate in a healthier space with your favorite foods that weren't the healthiest. You can do that. So the ladies on the retreat, they discovered some things. They really, really discovered some things when it came to their food. And again, like I said in the beginning, my retreats are designed to be able to nurture mind, body, and soul. And a part of the nurturing of the body is a Pilates retreat. So you're going to do some Pilates. You're not going to go with me halfway across the world and you going to sleep. I'm just saying, but you're going to get some sleep because rest is a part of it. But it's a Pilates retreat, so you're going to do some Pilates. A part of that body, so that's your movement. A part of your body is your breathing. We're going to tap deeper into our breathing, how we're breathing, the method or methodology that we're using for our breathing. We tap deeper into that. When it comes to our spinal health, our flexibility, our mobility, we tap deeper into that to understand how those muscles are working, in our body, because we use them in day-to-day life, but we want to get them to the point where they're not only flexible enough, but that they're strong enough to sustain blows if we end up in a situation where it can go into a cramping state or we can get injured as a result of it. So that's our mind, body, soul, right? I don't overload people with activities on retreats because I've been on retreats like that, and baby, it just don't work well for me. And I'm using myself as the example when I am, curating my retreats. Like, what I did not like about a lot of the, not a lot, but some of the retreats I went on, is so much stuff to do. And when you're trying to do all of those things on one retreat, one weekend, you get overwhelmed. And then you leave the retreat like, oh yeah, I had fun. You're going to say you had fun because you probably did have fun. But were you really able to learn how your body operated with the things that you learned on the retreat? Or were you so overwhelmed by choosing things? So my days are spaced out. Food is one of the things we're going to do. We're going to eat, we're going to eat, we're going to eat. So yeah, it's going to be plant-based. Yeah. It is included in the retreat package. Now this is what I'll say. I do have people who decide that they want to eat elsewhere. But the food that's included in your retreat package is plant-based. Yeah, it's going to be plant-based. And I intentionally picked those spaces, just like the ladies who, when we just left Bali, they actually participated in preparing the meal. That was intentional. I didn't just throw that in as something to do because I wanted them to see from beginning to end, from the market to the table, how that food was selected, how that food was prepared, and how that food was intended to work in their body. So the chef was educating them the entire way. And you all will see the episode. It's going up today. So I'm going to let them tell you in their words what their experience was with the food. Because the one that really loves to eat, she kept saying, I'm so surprised I'm full and I'm just eating plants. I'm just eating plants. And one of them did say, well, you took away all of the meat. She said, I took away all of the meat. No, I just wanted you, because you know how to get meat. You know where to get meat. Like when you go back home, you know where to do all of that. I want to introduce you to different forms of plants so that you can understand there are some things that you can, your mind, what you want is the same neurotransmitters that'll give you that pleasure. Our pleasure neurotransmitters, baby, they the same. They the same. You talking about from your eating to your illicit DRUGSUs to your SCX. All those are connected. Those are the feel-good hormones. All those things are being released when you engage in those activities that bring you pleasure. and food brings us pleasure. So that's intentional. When I curate those retreats, okay, wait. So my tubers, oh, there we go. I got to keep changing my angle because of where the sun is going. So that's intentional. And they saw that was intentional. I don't tell people that in the beginning. Well, I'm telling y'all, so I guess y'all end up on one of my retreats. But I don't tell people that in the beginning. I let them know that they're going to eat plant-based. I do that. They do know that when they're going. So they don't get over there and be like, you ain't tell me that. I did. The lies you tell, I did. That was in your retreat package. I let people know it's going to be plant-based. Plant-based meals are included in the retreat package. So they do know that much. But there are some people that be like, look, I need something that had parents, and they may, because it's a journey. I ain't forcing nobody to do anything. I am going to introduce you to things or educate you, and especially if you're asking and going on a retreat, if it's a retreat that I'm hosting, that's you expressing an indication that this is something that you want to learn about. So yeah. So, but they learned. But she kept saying, I cannot believe I'm full. This ain't nothing but plants. I can't believe I'm full. So it's funny. It's funny. So the episode, will go up today. But just be mindful on the journey that you're taking, again, whether it's through your food or through your exercise, through your movement. Take baby steps. Do not overwhelm yourself figuring that, oh, well, this person did this and they lost so many pounds. No, let me say this about weight. Thank you for the download. If you're going on a journey with your food and your primary motivation is weight loss, that's an easy way to frustrate yourself on a daily basis. Our bodies are a high percentage of water. So depending on the water content in your body, the scale can look different. The scale could make you cry. I'm just saying. Stand on that scale, and if weight loss is your primary goal for changing things, again, this is for entertainment purposes only, listen to your medical professional. Weight loss can be a motivator, or it can be the catalyst to get those wheels rolling. But if you stay hyper focused on weight loss, that is one way to frustrate yourself. So you're speaking of, you want to chat with me about the next one, about me going, okay, we're going to talk, girl. We're going to talk. Yeah, for sure. But just keep that in mind. If weight loss is your primary focus when it comes to that, and I'll give you an example. When people say, well, I'm going vegan for 30 days, right? Well, first of all, and I'm going to say this from experience and from what I know, from the vegans that I know. I mean, I have a dear family member who's vegan, and baby, it's a whole lifestyle. They're not playing with that. They're not doing that just to eat something different, just to eat some plants. It's everything from what they're putting in their hair, from what they're putting, on their bodies, and what they're washing their bodies with, and all. If you say you going vegan, honey, that you got some, but you got some people who want to dog you out if you say this is what you're doing. But I'm just saying, be mindful. Be mindful of the journey that you are going on. Now, I'm very respectful of that because I do have close friends and I have close family members who are vegans, and I have been educated. So it's not random for me. I know, what they do in terms of that particular lifestyle. So just keep it in mind. Veganism is a lifestyle. If you decide to go vegan, it's a lot of stuff you got to give up, and that would be, a drastic change for some people. If it's plant-based, that's for nutrition. So remember the two. Veganism is a lifestyle, and it is surrounded, around the care, the curation, the protection of animals. That's veganism, the lifestyle. It's your whole lifestyle. So their makeup, that contains those animal products, beeswax, so your chapstick, they ain't messing with none of that. I mean, they do natural, other natural things, but vegan, now I'm just saying, true vegans, I got them in my family, and I got some close friends that are vegan. So just, hey, Flo Chiropractic, how are you? Hey, Flo Chiropractic. So just keep that in mind. So I'm not saying don't research and develop plants, because you can, but that's a plant-based lifestyle. That's mostly nutrition. So y'all let me know if that's making sense. So the veganism is the lifestyle. It encompasses so many more things. But if it's plant-based, it's your nutrition, which is totally fine. So when you decide, wait, I got to readjust my leg in my hand. So yeah, so if you decide that you want to do something when it comes to your food, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to eat more vegetables, you just researching and developing, plant-based meals. That's it. And it don't even have to be that you're going totally plant-based. It's just that one thing. Just like when we talked about those carbonated beverages. If that's the one thing that you can do, become successful, and I'm using that in air quotes, but you determine your success. Become successful at one thing, because that's going to fuel the energy that you're going to need, one, to be able to research and develop more, and two, to be able to maintain that discipline and those habits that you had when you succeeded with that first one. So take those steps that, I don't want to use the word guaranteed, but for the purpose of keeping this conversation flowing, I'm going to say that, but utilize those steps that will guarantee you're going to reach each goal, each milestone. Now, will there be obstacles along the way? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you living, it's going to be obstacles on the road. Just drive down the street. Go on down to Chicago Street and look at them potholes. Shake your whole vehicle. Your wheel was the only thing that went in the pothole, but then you tore up your whole car. And the city won't be trying to give you no money. Ask me how I know, but that's another story. Yeah. But just think about that. If you're driving down a bumpy road, some things will happen, but you just reroute. You just get back on. Give yourself smaller, digestible increments of time, because we here in America, everything is about time. How long is it gonna take? How long is it gonna take? No, just give me a shot then. Just give me a shot. Think about a tree. Well, y'all can't see the top of the tree, but think about how long it takes a tree to grow. One of my favorite trees is bamboo. The life of the bamboo. You don't even see a little twig of a bamboo for years. 5 years, 7 years, some maybe even more. You don't see it. A bamboo, once it's planted down in there, you don't see it. But baby, when bamboo shoots up, it's off. It's going. And bamboo is one of the strongest, most versatile wood sources that you can utilize. So it has so many uses. So think of that. You want to plant bamboo, right? It may take a while. It may take a while to get solid, to get rooted down into the earth. But once it goes up, hey Chuck, once it goes up, it's going up. It's going up and it's not going to stop. And you can utilize, just like bamboo, you can utilize what you've learned, those strategies that you have incorporated into your wellness. You can use them in so many other areas of your life. So think about that. Think about that. So I am going to upload that episode. So I am going to sign off from here because, again, like I said, the sun is moving, so it's no longer in front of me. It's behind me. Okay. Yeah. If it goes behind the tree, then that'll help a little bit more. But yeah, hey, Amber Flowers, how are you? Thank you so much for liking the live. So again, this is the Self-Care Suite. This is a different day, different time. We're normally here on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I was traveling yesterday, coming from a wellness retreat, but I just wanted to give you all a recap of, some of the things that happened. You'll start seeing some of the posts, from the wellness retreat. It was a Pilates retreat in Bali, Indonesia. We had a blast. So we spent some days in Bali, and then we spent the day in Taiwan. We had a good time. We got back last night, so you will be seeing snippets of that. But the overall theme that seemed to run through the ladies, what they learned about themselves individually and as a group, was the food. And how in America, how different our food preparation is, or the way we are encouraged to eat or see the things that we eat, how different it is in Bali. And they're going to tell you. I'm letting them tell their own stories. That'll be on my tube. That'll be, so my talkers, you got to go over to my tube. And tubers, you just got to have to hold tight. Give me a few hours, and then I'll upload it, and you'll be able to see the episode. So that's going to be the latest episode of the Melanin Matters show. And you'll be able to hear from them and their experience at the market. Because, we went to that local market, and some of them got a shock. Like, the meat is just laying there. Yeah. But that's how things are prepared. That's, that's a cultural thing. And you have to also look at, with us, at least where we are, in America, to make things look good, we're about the aesthetic of things. And so that's, you all know, if anybody knows, I'm all for authentic Pilates over aesthetic Pilates. It don't have to be cute, but it needs to be precise. You need to have control. You need to flow. All those things, those Pilates principles, you're going to plug them in. It may not look the cutest. Take your pictures afterwards. Don't be worried about how you're looking, while you're on there, as long as you're doing it right. Different bodies move and maneuver with the same exercise different ways. I mean, we're uniquely made. So you want to make sure that you are getting the right stuff. You're doing the right things that work for your individual body. There's nothing wrong with getting ideas from different sources so that you can customize them to you. That's what we're doing. We come here to the Self-Care Suite because that's what we want to do. We want to exchange those self-care strategies that are useful, that are sustainable, and that are unique. We're sharing them with one another to incorporate into our own toolbox, backpack, treasure chest, what else? Toolbox, backpack, treasure chest, or box. That's what we want to. So it hasn't. Okay, Alfredo, I don't see you. But hey, welcome in. But that's what we're doing, and I just want to chime in and want to check in with you all about our experience. And again, like I said, you're going to see the little snippets, but if you want to see the stories of what happened, the full stories, it'll be on my tube. So I'm pointing over there to the tube, but I mean to you. It's going to be on the tube. So if we don't have any questions, any comments, I'm going to sign out. I just want to make sure I came in and checked in with you all. So I made the commitment at the beginning of this year for the self-care suite that I would do this, because Sundays is my chill day. Again, we're on Monday today because I was traveling yesterday. But Sundays, and we're now in July. July is almost over. And so, hey, what's up, Set the Tone Pilates? How are you? So we're winding down, on the year, and more than likely, the self-care suite either may not continue, or it just may not continue on the talk. It'll continue on the tube. So I'm weighing that out, because Sundays are my chill day. Sundays are my chill day. So I got to, I got to get it. I got to get what I need, and make sure that it's solid in my head. But just wanted to put that out there so you all know that it may not, it may not continue, because Sundays are my day. Like this is what I'll be doing on Sundays, right? I'm out here chilling in my hammock. But it's Monday, but I just, want to still give you the vibe of what we're doing on Sundays. In the summertime, baby, bang, I'll be out here sleep. I give me some good rest with this breeze. But I want to give me a net. So thank God nothing has fallen, I'm talking about the stuff that's falling. Ain't nothing that fell on me. I don't want it to fall on me. But I've been doing this for some years. Thank God it has not. That's such a blessing. But I think I want to get a screen, get some kind of screen to go over the hammock. But I don't want to block out too much of the sun. So that's me. That's just me thinking in my head of what I want to do. But yeah, so I just be chilling on Sunday. So I decided to share my Sunday chill vibe with my community. And I made the commitment at the beginning of the year, so I'm going to follow through. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to follow through. I am going to follow through. And I have to say that I have to put those words out there, because that helps hold me accountable. That helps, keep me moving in the direction that I said I was going to go in. So I do appreciate you all. Thank you so much, Set the Tone Pilates. I do appreciate you all for coming into the space. Again, this is a special day, special time, but we're typically here on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Self-Care Suite, where we come in and kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. We exchange useful, sustainable, low-cost or no-cost self-care strategies, because financial challenges should not stop us from investing in our wellness account every single day that we are alive. And we want to exchange those things. I don't want to come in the teaching capacity. I can, but I don't want to, because I don't want to say, well, you should do this, and you should do what works for you. That's what I want you to do. And that's why I ask people, what's up, Danny? Juicy. What's up, Juicy Fruit? Danny, thank you so much. What's up, gal? I know you're not used to seeing me at this time, Danny. I'm actually about to clock out. Can I say that? Yeah, clock out on the talk and tube out on the tube. Yeah. So I'm here today because I was traveling yesterday. So we're back from Bali. We're back in the United States. We're back in the U.S. But yeah. So I am preparing for my upcoming. It's going to be 2026. So I've done 2 in 2025. We did Belize in May. We did Bali in July. So part of my learning, I'll share this. Part of my learning on my journey, because I just got my retreat host training certification last year. So those are my first 2. Yeah, it was beautiful. So I got my first 2 down, my first 2 international retreats, and I do want to do 2 per year. I was thinking of going quarterly, but I got to pump my brakes. Little mama got to pump the brakes, because it's a lot. It takes a lot of energy out of you. But my initial thought was 2 international, 2 domestic, but that's a lot of moving parts. So I do know I'm going to do at least 2 per year. So it may be 1 international and then 1 domestic. That's maybe. I'm still working that out. But one that's staying is Belize. Belize is staying. So we're going to have a big celebration, International Pilates Day. International Pilates Day is the first Saturday. Thank you so much for the gift, Danny. International Pilates Day is the first Saturday in May every year. So we already know that. We know that that's not changing. So Belize is going to be the standard. So we will do Belize. At least that's the goal right now. If I get a download, say we're going to rewrap, I'm going to rewrap. But right now, Belize is scheduled to be the annual one. And so we'll have the big celebration for International Pilates Day in Belize, baby, in Belize, in Belize. They ain't ready for all this melanin, but they are. They are. They really are. But we taking it global, but they ain't ready for us. They ain't ready, but they are. Actually, they are. Let me quit playing. I love Belize. I love Belize. Oh my God. You talking about welcoming, embracing? Not that Asia wasn't, because it was. But I'm being honest with you, them not my people. They're my people because they're human, but that's not my melanated community. That's not what I got in the beginning. I got bars. Y'all know I'm having bars. That's not what I got. But that's not what I got when I got the vision for the Melanin Matters. It was a project. The story behind the Melanin Matters brand, it started up as a project, and my goal was to amplify Black bodies in Pilates. When we released the footage from that project, people wanted to be down with Melanin Matters. Like, how can I be down? Okay, y'all hear the people out there. People want to know how could they be down with the Melanin Matters, so it became a movement. And our mission is to globally, let's get it, baby, let's get it, let's go. And so our mission is to globally impact the Pilates industry while shifting the narrative of what Black wellness looks like. Because when you put us in there, put us in somebody's search bar, put wellness in there, and our faces don't pop up, our bodies don't pop up. And so that's a part of my mission, that you're gonna see, you're gonna get this melanin, the cocoa butter, the shea butter, the avocado butter, the olive oil, all the things, all the coconut oil, you're gonna get all of it. You about to get this melanin. But yeah, but Belize ready for us, baby. They ready. This year when I went, it was to establish my connections in Belize, and I did teach the Pilates classes. And when I tell you Belize showed up, they thought I was there to stay. It was funny, though. It was funny, but it wasn't funny. They thought I was there to stay, like I was bringing Pilates there, and then Pilates was gonna get started. I was like, no, y'all gotta go home. I gotta go back to the States. And so yeah, so Belize is ready. They ready. They're eager. They showed up for us in Belize. So they know I'm coming back. So I'll be back. But again, we're going to be celebrating that. And even for people who want to just come over and celebrate with us and they don't want to be a part of the retreat, I want to work out with the retreat center, or at least even the local hotel there, how we can do that. So y'all pray with me to see if we can get them to come down, on some of the prices, depending on, how many people will want to go. So you may just say, well, you know what? I just want to go over there. Cause some people want to solo travel, but they don't want to totally be somewhere by themselves. There's some people, they want somebody to know where they are. We're fine with that. If you say, okay, well, I don't want to do the whole retreat thing. I just want to, come over there and do my own thing, and I'll check in. I'll come to your club every now and then. That's fine too. But that's not established yet. It was just a thought. It was just a thought that I had. But if we can work that out, we'll do that, because I just think, this is me. I think everybody should see Belize. That's just me. No, let me take that back. Okay, y'all retract that. I'm going to cut this out. No, because people going to go over there and they're going to go too far. They're going to go too far. Don't go over there taking over there. That is a gem. That is a Caribbean gem. Don't go over there saturating it, overloading it with your influence and your colonizing. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. But it's beautiful. Belize is beautiful. So we got mainland. We got the different islands, which are called the Keys. And you can you want to leave the mainland, you hop on your ferry, you head on over, and you go to another island. So you can hit up 4 or 5 islands, while you're over there, which is beautiful. You can hit an island a day. You can stay at one night, hop back on that ferry, go to another, and then come back to the mainland. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Spending your time on the Caribbean Sea it's an experience. I say try it. I say go for it. And then Belize is right around the corner, at least from the U.S. I'm just saying, from the U.S., if you're in Houston, you got a couple hours to get down there. You got one flight. If you coming from Houston, from the Houston airport, Houston lobby, I think it's Houston lobby airport, Houston Hobby, HTX. If you coming from the Houston airport, you gonna get there in less than 3 hours. So I'm just saying, if you say, well, I want to go somewhere, you're traveling across the United States, go ahead and drop down, go across that sea, get on over to Belize and go see your people, go see the cousins. But yeah, so that's where we are. We're going to keep our retreats going, but it may be, at least until I get a better balance energetically, because it's a lot on the host. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just that I want to make sure that I am my best self when I'm hosting other people. And it was ambitious to go like, oh, I'm going to do 2 international, I'm going to do 2 domestic. It may, and that may occur. So I do have a spot that I'm going to check out that's right outside of the ATL in October. So that one may be the second location for now, because I want to get to the continent. So that's the goal. We want to get back over to the motherland, get to the continent, and do some things over there. but it is a retreat. It's not a retreat that's curated to wear you out. We get up, we get our movement in, we get breakfast. You pretty much have your day free. You make it back, for dinner. Because some people may want to eat lunch out, on their excursions. Do a city tour, see a couple of cultural sites, and that's it. I don't overwhelm people. We don't have presenters. We don't have seminars. We don't have sessions. That's all on you. Because my word that I got was rest and restoration. So I have to curate my retreats to promote that. So how are you resting if you got 4 or 5 seminars that you got to be at during the day? That's not restful. It's intentional. It's intentional for you to be able to go and hop in the hammock. Oh my God. And it's hammocks all over, in Belize. Hop in the hammock, go to sleep. Go to sleep for 4 or 5 hours. If that's what you want, we need it. Some of us are so exhausted that we don't know until we get to a space where we can sit down and we're not being restricted by time and we don't have to get up and go anywhere. We wake up confused, like, where am I? Where am I? Sleep outside, get you some fresh air. That's the intention behind it. So that's the intention behind my retreat. So you ain't gonna be bogged down for the whole day. Not with 50, 11 things. We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. I have few moving parts, but it's substantial movement in your life. Let me repeat that. I have few moving parts in the actual retreat activities, but the activities that we do move a lot, substantially in your life. That's what's happening at our Melanin Matters Restoration Wellness Retreats. Oh, so the sun is way down. It's way down. So you see how the light changed? But we just had that moment, but we gotta let the sun do what it do. We gotta let the sun do what it do. Hey, how's it going? We gotta let the sun do what it do what it do. But we don't have anything else. Yeah, let me check and make sure on my comments. Yeah, I'm gonna sign out. But thank you all for coming in on this special day and time. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the shares. Just thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you for coming in and tapping into the self-care suite. Again, this is a special day, special time because I was traveling yesterday, but the self-care suite is here Sunday. Peaches, girls, hello. The self-care suite is Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's our regular day and time. Again, unless there's some reason that I'm not able to have access to the internet. I'm also live with my subscribers, so you'll hit that gold star, not that, but you'll hit the gold star up there to become a subscriber. I'm live teaching Pilates on Mondays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on the top. Tube, I got to work on it because there's a way that I can do memberships, but I need y'all to go watch some more videos. You got to watch some more videos so I can get some more hours, and then I can do memberships, and in that way we can privatize the classes on the tube. But for right now, I can close the top subscribers. So my tubers, if you want to be a subscriber and take some live Pilates classes on Mondays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, you got to come on over to the top, become a subscriber, and you'll be able to take the classes. And so you're getting 8 classes in some months, you're getting 9 in others, and you're getting 10 in others for the low. For the low. So we love to have you to come flow with us. Again, I am Coach Robin Renee, your mindful movement guide through your Pilates journey. But in this capacity, in the self-care suite, I am your hostess, encouraging you to take time to take care of you. And on that note, I am signing out. Peace. What's up, honey sweets? I'm signing out. This is a special day and time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm going to sign out. We've been on here how long? So an hour. Yeah. We've been on here an hour and a half now. So I was just chiming in, checking in with my people because I couldn't do it yesterday because I was traveling. But I'm back. I'm back in the States. And yeah, back to the hustle and bustle. Back to the hustle. But that's okay because we're going to learn how to rest. Amen? We're going to learn how to rest. We're going to learn how to reclaim our time. Hey, Crystal Pilates. Hello. How are you? So I am signing out. So just check back on my page. I will post like a snippet of yep, you're good, thank you so much. So I'm going to post just like a little snippet so you'll know that the episode is up on, for my talkers, that's up on the tube, and so my tubers, you'll get the same post, so you'll hear from the women who just left our Pilates Melanin Matters all day long. So you're going to hear from the ladies on the retreat. So I'm going to have them to tell you in their own words their experience. So that's going to go up today. Give me a few hours and it'll be up on the tube. I got to let the tube load it up because it's probably at least 45 minutes. But it's a conversation, and these are high functioning executive women. So I love it. I love it. I love it that they came from that space, even though they're all in different industries. They are, pretty high functioning in their respective careers. And they all had this common thread that tied them together on our wellness retreat. We just got back last night. So it's fresh. It's hot and fresh. It's hot and fresh. Fresh and hot. So fresh, so clean. I'm going to post it for you all to see it. And on that note, I'm out. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much. Peace. So, tubers, I will see you in a few. Signing out. And